A fire broke out and razed parts of the Philippine General Hospital in Manila, forcing staff to evacuate patients in the dead of the night, right smack in the middle of a pandemic. Though it was formally declared the fire out before 6 in the morning today, PGH is left in need of direct aid to get back on its feet, including large industrial fans to chase out the thick smoke out of the building. The offices of Al Jazeera and the Associated Press in Gaza City were reduced to rubble after Israel launched an airstrike that struck a 12-story tower that housed media outlets and other offices. The health department has reported 10 new Indian variant cases as the total number of active cases in the country near 57,000. And the director of the Friends Reunion Special clarified the appearance of the South Korean boy group BTS on the special will be short but sweet. And fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your day this Sunday, May 16, 2021. I'm Riza Diaz. Fire ravaged part of a Philippine General Hospital past midnight earlier today. Initial information from the Bureau of Fire Protection NCR said that the fire broke out on the third floor at around 12:41 in the morning. The alert was raised to third alarm shortly before 2 a.m. Netizens posted several videos showing staff evacuating patients. Patients and staff from non-COVID units were instructed to stay at the hospital lobby and adjoining open spaces. But there are some patients who couldn't be immediately evacuated due to their state of health or that they are located on upper floors. The fire was declared under control by 2:46 in the morning and was declared fire out at 5:41 a.m. No casualties or injuries have been reported so far from the blaze in the country's biggest COVID-19 referral hospital. Now, as the country's end referral COVID hospital, PGH currently has a bed capacity of 90% a few weeks after the NCR Plus bubble was placed under ECQ. Following the fire, the Philippine General Hospital is in need of big industrial fans and oxygen tanks. Vice President Leni Robredo is asking for donations of big industrial fans to dissipate the smoke that envelope the hospital. Twitter users identifying themselves as PGH staff members are also asking for oxygen tanks and breast milk for babies evacuated out of PGH. The Israeli Air Force bombed a 12-story tower block that housed media outlets in Gaza. The Al-Jalaa building in Gaza City, which served as headquarters for U.S.-based Associated Press and Qatar-based broadcaster Al Jazeera, was cleared yesterday after the owner received advance warning of the strike. According to Reuters, a Palestinian journalist was wounded in the strike and debris and shrapnel flew dozens of yards away. Now, according to the Israeli military, its fighter jets struck a multi-story building which contained military assets belonging to the Hamas terror organization. The media company's house in the building condemned these acts, saying it's a clear case of killing the messenger. But the Israeli military denied the claims and said the media was not their target and that the Gaza airstrikes were aimed at hitting targets used by Hamas. Increasing tensions in Gaza has left at least 154 Palestinians dead in almost a week, at least 41 of them children and 23 women, while Israeli has reported a casualty of 8. Now, almost all who were killed were civilians. Al Jazeera strongly condemned the bombing and destruction of its offices by Israeli military in Gaza. They view this as a clear act to stop journalists from conducting their duty and report events on the ground. The media network said that they were informed by the Israeli military via phone call that they had less than an hour to vacate the building. Al Jazeera vows to pursue every available action to hold the Israeli government accountable for its actions. Meanwhile, the CEO of the Associated Press said the organization was shocked and horrified after the airstrike. According to its president and CEO, Gary Pruitt, journalists were able to evacuate along with some equipment, but the media organization will try to get to the bottom of this attack and make sure this never happens again.
We're shocked and horrified that the Israelis would target the building that housed AP's bureau in Gaza. They long knew that AP's bureau was there, and they targeted it. We narrowly escaped a huge loss of life building. And those brave journalists not only got out, but they were able to salvage much of our equipment because it's important that we continue to tell this story. We will work hard to continue to tell the world the important events of Gaza, and we will keep our journalists safe. At the same time, we need to learn more about why this building was targeted. We've been in touch with the Israeli government. We've heard their statement. We need to know more.
Now, in light of these increasing tensions, pro-Palestine protests have widely emerged across the world. In Iraq, chanting crowds gathered in some cities as some burned Israel and American flags in protest against the bombing in the Gaza Strip. In Greece, police had to fire tear gas, water cannons against pro-Palestinian demonstrators protesting in Athens. Palestinian supporters across Germany protested against Israel, which ended in altercations with police after they were prohibited to continue the protests due to COVID-19 restrictions. Meanwhile, more than 6,700 new COVID-19 cases were reported on Saturday. This brought the total number of infections to 1,138,000, some 56,000 of which are still considered active. 93 more people died of the virus, pushing the death toll to 19,000 yesterday. And finally, total recoveries now stand at 1,062,000 as nearly 9,000 new survivors were logged on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Foreign Affairs Department recorded 26 new cases yesterday among Filipinos abroad. This brings the total confirmed cases among OFWs and Filipino residents abroad to 18,600. No new recovery and fatality were reported among overseas Filipinos. The Health Department confirms 10 new Indian variant cases have been detected in the country. Of these, one was a seafarer who came from Belgium, and the other 9 were crew members of MV Athens Bridge. So far, there are 12 reported Indian variant cases in the country. The seafarer disembarked in Belgium and flew back in Manila via the UAE. He arrived in the country on a flight on April 24 and completed his isolation period on May 13. The 9 crew members were admitted at a hospital in Manila. 4 of them are currently in stable condition, while the other 5 are still in isolation facility. National Security Adviser Hermogenes Esperon insists that releasing the list of alleged terrorists and a terrorist group was done in sufficient research and basis. At the Laging Handa press briefing on Saturday, Esperon said publicizing the list was not a violation of due process, as they have pending warrants of arrest for the individuals and groups on the list. He added that these people could be designated as terrorists because they are already included in the same list from the United Nations Security Council and other countries.
Ito pong basihan ng pagdeklara ng terrorism ay ang United Nations Resolution, Security Council Resolution 1343, na kung saan ay sinabi na kung ano yung mga terrorist organizations. Ang Communist Party of the Philippines ay isa ring designated organization sa European Union, sa United States, sa Australia. Sa Australia, kasama pa nga ang pangalan mismo ni Jose Maria Sison. Sa Canada, sila ay designated din. At ganon din sa New Zealand.
Esperon also said that communist leader Jose Maria Sison and 18 other suspected officers of the CPP are entitled to file for delisting as terrorists.
15 days, they can file a petition for delisting. Ngunit, alam mo, yung mga Abu Sayyaf, hindi na magpapail yan dahil talaga namang terorista mga yan. E di mag-file sila, sina Season. Mag-file sila. May warrant of arrest nga yan, eh di pumunta siya dito. At panagutan pa niya yung iba pa niyang mga kasalanan.
K-pop boy band BTS will indeed appear on the Friends reunion special, but the director clarified that it will just be a short cameo. Armies around the world couldn't contain themselves when news of BTS appearance on that much-awaited reunion of hit TV show Friends broke out. Several other stars are slated to make a cameo, including Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga. But it was the BTS that made the most noise as stans broke the internet due to the sheer volume of the fandom. But as the excitement grew, Friends producer and director Benny Winston took to Twitter to clarify that BTS appearance will only be a short segment. The reunion special is expected to delve into the cultural impact of the iconic sitcom. And armies all over the world are expecting BTS leader RM to talk about what he learned English from watching the entire Friends series over and over again. Regardless of the extent of the band's cameo, loyal fans can't hardly wait for the show's release. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later again at 10 in the morning as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.